Hi, I'm Ariel and welcome back to School of Print Design. In part 1 of how to design a booklet, we focused on planning your booklet, choosing the right format, understanding booklet printing, and making smart decisions before design even begins. Now, in part 2, we're going to bring it all to life in Adobe InDesign. We'll start with visual design, then we'll scale it to a full multi-page document with consistent styling, layout systems, and production-ready setup. Let's jump in. Today, we'll be designing the simple 40-page lookbook created by designer Nate Johannes for Threadwell. We'll be creating 2 InDesign files, one for the cover and one for the pages. The booklet is 8.5 by 11 inches and it's perfect bound with a thin glued spine. The cover is coated matte white paper on a 100-pound cover weight. It has soft touch laminate and rose gold embellishments, which will require a custom spot color. And the pages are also coated matte white, but they are 100-pound text weight. The lookbook has a lot of colorful photography and it has a variety of page spread layouts with page numbering. It looks like a fun project. Now that we know what we're going to make, let's get into it. Before you touch InDesign, start with paper. Seriously. Since we already know what we're making today, we'll skip this part, but whenever you start a new booklet design project, creating a paper mock-up is a must. A paper mock-up helps you see things you can't always feel on screen. It lets you sketch design ideas quickly and experiment without wasting time. And it's a fast way to begin organizing your content. This mock-up becomes your roadmap. Now we're ready for InDesign. Let's start our booklet design with the cover. Create a new InDesign document and enter these settings. First, we'll need 2 pages. One for the exterior cover, one for the inside cover. But let's start with 1. Now, remember that our cover is one continuous design for the front, spine, and back. So let's go ahead and turn off facing pages, since those are for spreads. Next, we'll figure out our cover dimensions. We know our finished booklet size is 8.5 by 11, so the height will be 11, but we'll need to combine our front, spine, and back widths to get our total width. First, we'll add 8.5 for the front and 8.5 for the back. That's 17 inches. But we're missing our spine. The spine width changes with page count and paper weight, so it's different on every booklet project. There are ways to calculate spine width, but let's keep it simple. Just go to the perfect bound booklet page on SmartPress. Enter your booklet specs and we'll show you your spine width. For this booklet, our spine is 0.12 inches, and that makes our total cover width 17.12 inches. Next, change columns to 2. One for the front cover and one for the back. Then set your column gutter to 0.12 for our spine. Set our margins next. The minimum is an 1/8 inch, but let's double that to a 1/4 inch. Then set our bleeds to an 1/8 inch and click Create. Here's our cover document and it's looking pretty good. There's a left column for the front cover, the column gutter for the spine, and the right column for the back. But remember the hinge in part 1? Let's make sure we account for that. Fortunately, that's pretty easy. The hinge is always a 1/4 inch from the spine. So drag a new guide onto the left spine column guide. With the guide selected, click on the X location and type -0.25 after the 8.5 and hit enter. Then do the same thing for the right spine column guide, but this time enter +0.25. These 2 guides represent the hinge and the exterior covers and the no ink glueable areas on the inside cover. Now, let's duplicate the cover's exterior page so we can mimic this document structure for the inside cover. Done. Since our cover is a separate print job from the rest of our book, let's finish that up now. We'll bring in our text and imagery. Knowing this will be the first impression our readers get from our booklet, it has to be impactful. The foil should add that extra interest. Set that up by selecting the Threadwell logo and clicking New Swatch in the Swatches panel. In the swatch options, choose color mode RGB and set the red and green to 0. And set the blue to 255. Then change the color type to spot and name the swatch Foil. Click OK. Then apply this swatch to all the elements that will be foil. All that foil on the cover will definitely make our booklet stand out. With the cover complete, let's set up the guts of our booklet. the pages. Create a new document again, and this time we'll enter the settings a little differently. For width and height, enter 8.5 by 11. In pages, put 4, and this time check facing pages. This document will hold all our pages, so we want to be designing with page spreads. In columns, leave it at 1 since we'll build our grid a little later. In margins, let's enter the minimum of 1/4 inch, but adjust the inside margin, the gutter margin, to the minimum of 0.375 so we don't lose any important content in the gutter. Then add an 1/8 inch bleed and click Create. Here's the pages document. This time you'll notice 4 pages, with the middle 2 pages joined together, creating our first spread. With our basic files set up complete, we can move on to design. Instead of designing every page in order, we're going to start with the most important ones. Think of these as your anchor pages, chapter or section openers, key feature spreads, and any high-impact visual pages. These set the tone for the entire booklet, but beware of over-systemizing too early. At this stage, you're still exploring, so move things around, try layouts, play with typography, test ideas. We'll turn this into a system shortly. Right now, we're figuring out what works. This is purely visual. I went ahead and created some extra pages and designed a few of my key layouts, and they are looking pretty good. Now let's tighten them up. We'll start by building our layout system with columns and grids. This is where your booklet really starts to feel organized. First, we're going to define our margin and columns. Think of this as your core invisible structure that keeps your primary elements aligned, especially long-form text. There's no single correct way to do this. It totally depends on your unique design and preferences. Go to Layout, Margins and Columns. I like to have Preview checked while I adjust the settings. Then I can tweak the options to closely match my rough designs. Here I found that 7 columns with a 0.2 inch gutter paired with top and bottom margins of 1/4 inch and inside and outside margins of 3/4 of an inch almost perfectly fits my layouts. Hit OK. There, all of our objects are feeling more uniform, but the columns are really only helping us with horizontal spacing and alignment. Great designs also have consistent vertical alignment, especially when it comes to text. Luckily, in InDesign, it has a system in place to handle exactly that. Baseline grids. Navigate to InDesign, Preferences, Grids. Under Baseline Grid, the first thing to do is set Increment Every to match the leading of your body text. My body copy is 14.4 points, so I'll enter 14.4 PT. Then under Relative to, you can choose to have the baseline grid be contained within your page margins or cover the entire page. Since I want to keep my existing top margin uncluttered, I'll set this to top margin. Then check the View Threshold, which simply shows at what zoom level the baseline grid will become visible. I like seeing the grid most of the time, so I have this set at 25%. Click OK. Finally, go to View, Grids and Guides, and select Show Baseline Grid. You should see the baseline grid appear on your page. To align your text with the baseline grid, select the text box. Then go to Window, Type and Tables, Paragraph. On the bottom right, click the Align to Baseline Grid button. Boom! See how this text automatically sits on the baseline? Now you can adjust all of the object's widths and positions on the page to perfectly align with your new columns and the baseline grid. If this episode on how to design a booklet is helpful so far, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more print and design tips. We release new episodes regularly so you can create brilliant print with confidence. All right, let's move on to the next part of our booklet journey, paragraph and character styles. Let's talk typography. Because with custom booklet printing, it's all about the text. Chances are your booklet will have lots of it. And the bigger the booklet, the harder it can be to manage, especially when there are changes. This is where paragraph and character styles in InDesign are crucial. Paragraph styles control all text formatting attributes for an entire paragraph, while character styles only apply to select words or phrases within a paragraph. The magic is that they both can be edited in one place, and the updates will be reflected across your entire booklet anywhere they were used. Start by identifying the unique type styles in your design and plan to create a style for each of them. Consider naming them based on basic type hierarchy and then variation. First, let's create new style groups to keep our styles organized. We'll name these after our hierarchy, like display, headings, subheadings, body, and folio. Then, we'll create unique paragraph styles for every variation. The easiest way to create a style is to select the text you want to create your style from. Then, go to Window, Styles, Paragraph Styles, and click on the Create New Style button. You'll see your new style appear in the Paragraph Styles window. You can double-click on it there to edit it. You'll be able to customize its style settings, style name, and even base it on another style. This makes creating style variations simple and easy to update. Once your key pages are designed and your grids and text styles are defined, you can turn everything into a system with parent pages. This is where InDesign really shines. Parent pages, formerly known as master pages, serve as templates for your document pages. You can find them right here at the top of the Pages panel. InDesign always creates a blank parent for you by default called a parent. Anything you place on a parent page, like numbers, will appear on all document pages that have that parent applied to it. This lets you create new pages fast and ensures consistency across your whole booklet. If you look at our document pages, you'll notice an A on the upper corner of each page icon. That A is the prefix of a parent and means all those pages have it applied to them. Parent pages can also be based on other parent pages. This is called a child parent, and it means it will inherit all the elements from the other parent as a jumping off point. Because of this, your first parent pages should contain the most universal elements in your booklet. Then create more nuanced child parent variations from them. Now, let's set up our parent pages. First, I'm going to double-click on a parent page to edit it. Then, I'll right-click on it and select Parent Options. Then I'll change the prefix to GD and name to Grid. You'll instantly see all the A's in the document page thumbnails change to GD. Now, I'm going to add our grid to this parent page. Go to Layout, Margins, and Columns, and enter all the same settings that I did before on our document page. When I finish, I can scroll through all my document pages and see that the columns we just set up in the parent are showing on every page. Pretty cool. Next, let's set up a parent for our folio content, like the page numbers, title, and labels that will show up on most pages. Right-click on the GD Grid parent page and select New Parent. This time, type in FL for the prefix and folio for the name. Under Based on Parent, select GD Grid. The new parent will appear, and you'll notice the GD on its thumbnail. This means it has inherited our column grid from GD Grid. Love this. Now I'm going to paste in our page number text from one of our document pages. Then highlight just the page number and go to Type, Insert Special Character, Markers, Current Page Number. Then copy that to mirror it on the right side of the spread as well. Okay, now let's create two new document pages and apply the FL folio parent to them. You'll see the page numbers show up, reflecting their correct pages. It's working! We can continue to create more parent pages to support our full range of spreads. I'll make another one called SP Spread, which will have an image frame and text boxes for our most common spread layout. Then I'll apply that to all the document pages that share its layout. And I can update the images and text by holding Shift plus Command and clicking on each element. There! Now I've got the correct images and text on the document page, but I can still control and modify the layout from the parent page. Slick! Then I'll continue to create pages and parents as needed to finish our entire booklet design. This is how to make booklet design easy and powerful. And here you have it. Done. Before you export your print files, take a step back and review your booklet as a physical object. Ask yourself, does the story and content flow naturally? Is everything readable? Are key elements away from the spine and edges? Does the cover make sense on its own? Then do one final thing. Print a few pages at home at full scale, because what looks perfect on screen doesn't always behave the same in print. And that's how to design a booklet in InDesign, from first sketch to final system. Just remember, start with composition, not software. Design your key pages first. Build consistency with systems like grids, styles, and parent pages. And always design for the physical experience, not just the screen. The best booklets aren't just well designed, they're well read. Thanks for watching School of Print Design. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and share it with your team. And if you're ready to bring your booklet to life, we're here to help every step of the way. I'm Ariel, and we'll see you next time.